Crystals. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jolene Matayson. I'm a psychic reader and energy healer. I also do past life regression therapy and astrological birth charts. So I wanted to do a fairly detailed reading since we have Mercury retrograde coming up towards the end of this month. It's from the 21st of April until the 14th of May. And this retrograde is coming up in Taurus, and with me being a Taurus, I really wanted to delve into this and share with my other earth signs, as Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn will all likely be most affected by this upcoming retrograde. For those of you who don't know anything about retrograde, you can do a simple Google search which will give you more in-depth information on it. But basically Mercury retrograde happens when Mercury starts moving more slowly to the extent that it appears to be moving backwards, and this affects the energy for us. So it can affect things like communication, and even electronic devices and whatnot can start not working or operating as it usually should. I don't know if you even noticed that every time that Facebook has crashed or WhatsApp has crashed, it's happened during Mercury retrograde, because it affects everyone in some shape or form. Just some of us, especially empaths, and in this case with it being in Taurus, earth signs will be affected a lot more. It's also time for release, and just be more aware of like communication issues that you may experience with other people. I mean, communication issues, like literally, like in terms of email, phone calls, texting and whatnot, and apps such as WhatsApp and Facebook that we use to communicate with others. But also general communication, it can affect. You may find you may have difficulty in your relationships, your personal relationships. So this is something I just wanted to do more detailed readings, particularly for earth signs. So if you're a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, this would appeal to you or apply to you, but please also do share it with your other friends who are also earth signs. So let's get going. So firstly, what will Mercury retrograde bring into your awareness? And so we have the Queen of Cups. So now the Queen of Cups is a lot to do with romantic relationships. She's all about falling in love and compassion, sensitivity, empathy. Now you're going to find yourself more in tune than usual, or more sensitive than usual. So you may find yourself reacting or overreacting to little things, especially with your partner or those who are closest to you. So just be mindful of this, and maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, even if it's not in the moment, just like a little bit after the fact. I mean, it will highlight a lot of your shortcomings, I feel, your personal shortcomings, or our personal shortcomings, since I'm included in this. Next up, how will this Mercury retrograde affect you? So the card we have is the Wheel. The Wheel shows things turning around for you. So while you're going through this retrograde, you will find things have, however it's been for you before. Usually the Wheel is positive, but if you've been going through some negative experiences, it will somehow turn around for you. Although with it being retrograde, I don't want to spin a too positive spin on it. It could be a situation of where like things start turning around for you. So it's going to start out being like difficult, and then things will start to get better. I do feel that what's coming up more strongly or more evident here is that with you being more sensitive and your flaws being highlighted and the negative part, your shadow self, coming to light, it's going to help you to become better. It will help you when you identify all those negative traits about yourself. You will know what you need to release, and it will ultimately work in your favor. So try to be just very aware of this so that it doesn't end up having a negative impact, because like with the wheel, while it's usually positive, if things have been overly positive for you, it could go the other way around. So just be mindful that whatever shadow aspects of yourself are highlighted during this time, that you use it for your gain, for your benefit going forward, and you use it in working with your relationships so you can improve them, and at least identify the negative aspects that you are putting into the relationship so that you can work on your side of things to improve matters. I hope that makes sense. You can always drop a comment below and let me know if it doesn't, so I can try and elaborate better. So the next question is, what do you need to revisit during this Mercury retrograde? The Ten of Swords can sometimes indicate ruin, although it's not like a sudden event. It has history. It's things that you are aware of, that you've known of, and you may have been putting to the side and just ignoring it. But it's just the things that you need to address at this time are things that you've been putting off, like people and situations that you no longer add value to your life, that you need to let go of. So this may be a relationship that's no longer working for you. I want to feel particularly that there's some kind of abuse happening. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be mental, whatever kind of abuse you're experiencing, or gaslighting, narcissism, any of those things. You've been putting this off for a long time, and as an empath, you've been a typical empath and somehow blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong, especially since this person is gaslighting you and making you feel that way. But it's time, because you know deep down that it's time to move on, and now is the time to readdress it, and to start taking steps to change things for you. This could also relate to a job that's no longer beneficial for you, or any kind of situation really that you know in your gut is no longer serving your highest purpose, that's no longer aiding you, that's no longer supporting you. It's time to seriously look at the steps you can take to move forward and let go. What do you need to rework during this Mercury retrograde? The Ace of Swords tells you that you have this belief that you're stuck in your situation, that you have no way of moving forward. So you need to get those affirmations out and start building yourself and changing your mindset, and starting to realize that you do have control, you do have the power, you are in charge of your own destiny. So do what it takes for you to reach your highest potential and to fulfill your purpose, and to honor your dignity and honor yourself. What unknown factors do you need to be aware of? The Six of Cups reminds you that you have angels, earthly angels and heavenly angels, who are there to support you. If you look at the card and study it, you see there's someone standing next to you. I mean, there could even be pets that have passed on, or children that are passed on for some people. But overall, it's just telling you you have this support system in place. So don't think that if you make a decision that will now have someone or something that you perceive to be of value no longer in your life, that you are going to be alone, that you're going to have to cope with the loss on your own. You have heavenly angels and earthly angels who are there to support you every step of the way. I do feel like some of my earth signs, or some of the earth signs that are listening to this right now, are feeling like you don't have that structure. I mean, as an earth sign, you want stability, and you feel like when you shake that foundation, that you're not going to be able to put things back together again. But you have people and angels who will support you and will help you through every step of the way. So you are being reminded of this. It may be an unknown thing to some of you, others know this, but you don't fully believe it. And lastly, what precautions can you take for a smooth Mercury retrograde? The High Priestess says it's time to connect to your higher self. So meditate, start focusing on those things. Like some things you may know that you need to release, other things you may need to go deep within because either you're ignoring it or you haven't fully realized it. But start making a list of what it is that you need to release and what you need to let go of. And perhaps you can try and do some of these things before Mercury retrograde hits us, or so you can begin as it starts on the 21st of April, because the sooner you can get that out of the way, the less likely you are to be overwhelmed and overly emotional during the retrograde period, during the Mercury retrograde period. So try to be as best prepared as possible so that you don't feel like the rug has been pulled completely out from under you. Just as long as you're at the very least aware of what is going to come creeping up on you, you might be able to handle it that much more easily when the time comes. I just wanted to show all the cards for you one last time, for those of you who want to have a closer look at them and try and see if there's any messages that you can pull from the cards. So let me just leave it here for a few seconds so you can do that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have all taken something from this video, and I would love to hear back from you. So please do drop a comment below for me. Please do share. If you don't subscribe to my channel already, please do so. Just hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like and let others know. Don't keep it all to yourself. And I hope to see you again with my next video. Love and light.